there is a TeShuva process that a person needs to understand, that you cannot do TeShuva by yourself. What does that mean? Doesn't matter whether you were born into a religious family or you did TeShuva at some other point. If you're watching our shiurim, that's because they're inspiring you to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which means that every shiur, if Hashem gives us the merit, we inspire you to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, meaning that you're doing a little bit more TeShuva in every shiur. That's what a Jew is supposed to be. A Jew is supposed to be someone who does TeShuva every day. Every day. We're not fortunate enough to do shiurim 7 times a week yet, but 3 times a week, Baruch Hashem, we can. So, you have 3 times a week, you get inspired to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. 3 times a week, you're doing TeShuva towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the other days, you're also getting short clips that help you do TeShuva. So now, every time a person does TeShuva, he gets closer and closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's all great. And if he continues or she continues to do this for 70, 80 years, BeEzrat HaShem, this is going to be very good in Olam Haba. What's the problem? The deficit. What's the deficit? The deficit you showed up with on day 1. On day 1, you came from birth with 20 years worth of wasting seed. On day 1, you showed up as a Baal Tshuva with 20 years of Chilul Shabbat. On day 1, you showed up with 15, 20, 30 years of walking around immodestly and being Machtiyah Rabim. You showed up with a deficit. Now, Baruch Hashem, you did Tshuva 40, 50, 60 years. You're fantastic, you're the tzaddiket, you're Rabbanit, good. But you show up to Shamayim and say, fantastic what you did from the day you started doing Tshuva, amazing. One problem, the deficit. What? What you did before. What you did before, you didn't keep Shabbat for 20 years. You wasted seed for 20 years. You walked around immodestly for 20 years and caused other people to sin. And so on and so forth. You ate tareh for 20 years. What are you going to do with that deficit? What, do you think it just goes away? What is it, hot air? No, it created something. So how do you fix this? Rabotai Yekarim, there is no better way to fix our past than the suggestion that was given to us by Yechezkel HaNavi, Ezekiel. Don't let your sins of your past be the stumbling block of your future. He tells you, you do tshuva and you bring others with you. Why? Those others that you bring with you to do tshuva, they're going to be the ones that they start doing mitzvot and help you fix your past. Why? Because now you kept Shabbat. That's 1 Shabbat. So that means that you came up to Shamayim 70 Shabbats in a row. You stopped wasting seed. Baruch Hashem, 70 years of watching your bleed. Baruch Hashem, fantastic. But what about the deficit? Now you got one person to do tshuva because you donated every month 100, 200, 500, 1,000, everyone in their own level. $5 for all the kids. Whatever is your level. Everybody's own level. If you're making a high income, your donations have to be high. If you're making a low income, your donations are low. Whatever it is, whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu blessed you with, that's what you give. You give your ma'aseh. Now you give your ma'aseh towards Kiruv to help Am Yisrael go closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What happens with that? That money is used to help Am Yisrael do tshuva, whether it's to print another few 100,000 CDs or another few million CDs or another USB, or to help movie production with all of these fantastic movies that get produced every single week, a new movie, Shtabach Shimo. Hollywood is already calling us saying, how are you guys doing it so much? How much staff do you have? 30, 40,000? How are you guys doing so much work? It doesn't make any sense. What is your staff? 3,000, 4,000? What's your budget? 500 million? Ishtabach Shimolad. How are you doing all this? People are asking, how do you come up with so much material? Haggadah, Megillah, all types of books, all types of movies, all types of languages. It's all Siyata Dishmaya. It's all HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's it. That's what it is. That's the secret. Why? No one is doing it for money. Some people get paid, some people do it for free, but no one, even the people who do get paid, no one's doing it for money. Why? Reality is, you see what people's paychecks are, and the hours that they're working, you realize these people are like, if they didn't do it for this, it would be slavery. Why? Because the reality is, everyone understands, to do Kiruv, to help Am Yisrael get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, requires mesirut nefesh, requires sacrifice, and that's why it works. Organizations that are predominantly focused on money generally do not help people do tshuva. Why? It doesn't work. This is a fact. So what happens now when you start donating your money, your maaser, every 2 weeks you get paycheck, every month you get paycheck, you start donating, That money eventually is going to pay somebody. It's going to pay a salary. It's going to pay for CDs. It's going to pay for USBs. It's going to pay for one of the movies. It's going to pay for one of the books, and so on and so forth. Someone's going to read it. Someone's going to watch it. Someone's going to use it. They're going to start doing tshuva. It's going to pay for one of these shiurim. Someone's going to do tshuva. They're going to start keeping Shabbat. They're going to start keeping talat mishpacha. They're going to be like this tzadikah that just this couple, this Motzei Shabbat, gave me a gift. I love when my students give me gifts, but the best gifts in the world are not money. You know what she gave me? She gave me a video of her burning her wig. That's what's the wig. Why is this such a great gift? Because she's a hairstylist. She deals with wigs. Imagine the hairstylist shows up to the place with kisui rosh. What a kiddush Hashem that is. Oh, what happened to your kisui rosh? What happened to your wig? You had the nicest wig in town. No more wig. Why? Avodah zarah. The wig is avodah zarah. The hairstylist shows up to our shop with a kisui rosh. Why? Because she knows that the wig is avodah zarah. It took her a long time. And we were going back and forth for a couple of years already. But she gave me a gift. She says, that's it. I've had it. No more avodah zarah in my house. What should I do? I said, burn it. She not only burned it, she made a KIDDUSH HASHEM by sending a video, and we publicized it today. So your video, your money was used to help people, help reach people that are doing tshuva for wigs, doing tshuva for zera levatala, and so on and so forth. Every single day that they do a tshuva from that moment on goes into your account. That means that every Shabbat, you keep Shabbat, they keep Shabbat, you have 2 Shabbats. But now they have kids now. Now they got married now. Their husband's keeping Shabbat, the kids keep Shabbat. And what happens? Every Shabbat now is 6 Shabbats, 7 Shabbats, 8 Shabbats. You show up to Shamayim like Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes. Why? You have a surplus. They said, listen, you only live 7 years, but you have 700 years worth of Shabbat. What do you want us to do with it? What do you want us to do with this surplus? You're the richest guy in town. Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes is praying for you now to get to Tzchuyot. What's going on here? You have so many Shabbats. You have so many this, so many that. You're a Kiruv machine. Gan Eden, your Gan Eden is going to go up every day. Why? Because these people continue to live, their grandkids, and so on and so forth. What do? Every single time people pray, people do something, and they ask for your merit, the merit of Reuven, the merit of Shimon, the merit of this tzaddik that did a lot of Kiruv, guess what? You can use that merit to help the people still in this world. Help them do tshuva, help them get parnasah, and so on and so forth. That's what you have all this extra for. Aside from your own benefit of getting a nice olam haba. You show up to olam haba, it says we have to create a new one for you. Why? You have 700 years worth of Shabbats. And the beauty is, there's no limitation. There's no limitation to the spiritual elevation that HaKadosh Baruch Hu can give a person. No limitation. It can always get better. And the difference between one level and another, you say, wait, it's so good already, how could it get better? Let's do this. Just like we see on the bad side, when I compared it to you guys, the fire, the guy that's in the fire in a bad place, and the guy that's not in the fire, that's the difference between one step in Gehinom to the other step in Gehinom. One guy's in the fire, one guy's not in the fire, they're both in the fire. But the feeling between the two is like one guy doesn't have fire, one guy doesn't have fire. It's 500 times, the Gemara says, 500 times more for good. Meaning, one guy, he is just hanging out. The other guy has worlds. Then the other guy has worlds already. He has worlds already. He's good. He's in good shape, right? Now he gets planets. He gets universes. He gets all of the good that you can possibly imagine. Multiplied by infinity, it's not enough as a down payment for the difference between one level and the other. And those people can get that level elevated on a daily basis. The pleasure that you felt yesterday that was so good will feel like it was painful in comparison to the pleasure that you will feel the next day. That's how good Olam Haba is. When a person understands that we came to this world to toil for Olam Haba. So yeah, it's difficult, and yeah, it's expensive, and yeah, I can't sleep, and I can't this, and there's conflict, and there's all that. But when you realize what the payment is, Ishtabach Shimo La'ai, you say, how come I didn't do more, Hashem? Why don't you send me an email or something? He's going to tell you, what do you mean email? I sent you an organization called BeEzrat HaShem. You don't need anything else? I had my name on the organization.